Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGameLLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to organize Dinosaur Island, the Extreme Edition. Now this does include the Totally Liquid expansion, it is fully sleeved, and it also uses all of the promos from Dice Tower and future Pandasaurus Games Kickstarters. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look inside. So right off the bat, we lift off the lid here, and you'll see that we have two distinct sections. Let's look at this bottom one first. First off, we have the bag, and this bag is going to contain all of your visitors. So you have all of your visitors, and then inside you also see hooligans. Now remember, you only use a specific amount of hooligans in here, so make sure to put those in before you start your game. Next, we have all of the different player powers for the Totally Liquid expansion. These are all your executives, so your special island. You also have all of your different creatures, so all of the dinosaurs you'll be making, the recipes. Those all fit in there nicely. Next, we just have a large bag for the different dinosaur meeples, and these are going to include both types, the Totally Liquid as well as the standard. Underneath here, in a long column, we're going to have all of the different technology tiles and the different locations just in one bag. Up here, we have a small Dollar Tree organizer for the metal coins. They fit nicely in this one. One thing to know, if you look at the backs of the coins, they actually tell you what the values are. The Triceratops are 1. These Velociraptors, let me see if I can focus in there. These Velociraptors are 5s. And lastly, our T-Rex is a 10. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking for specific coins. And then lastly, on this section, we've got a large makeup organizer. So this makeup organizer is also from the Dollar Tree, $1. You can get containers like this from your local stores. But once again, if you can't find these containers, they are just ideas, and you can use simply plastic bags to organize them. This one here, though, I like because you simply plop it on the table and you're ready to go. It contains all the paddocks for the different water creatures. So we have all the level 3s for the regular creatures, and then the water paddocks. So 2s and 3s in this one, and then our 4s in this one. So they sit nicely on the table. And then in this section, we have all the dice for picking your starting dice for each round for your DNA. Up next on this top section, we are actually going to store the majority of the cards and player components. So let's look here. This is our first player wristband. Nice. We've got our player components simply in their bags, so you just toss them to the appropriate player. Make sure that you include the security tokens and the danger tokens, as well as temporary security and temporary danger, the extra point tokens, and then your caps for your different DNA storage. So we have 4 of those. Ooh, actually 5 of those. Ooh, that's right, 5th player expansion from Totally Liquid. And then we also, in this container, we've got all of the different components for your executives and your island. So if you decide to use that expansion, all your components are in here for it. So simply pull this out if you're ready to use that one. Up next, we have additional meeples. So some of the plot twist cards are going to require you to pull out VIPs or additional hooligans. So make sure to set out some in a separate bag, just in case they do call for them. Same thing with these, based on player counts and particular plot twists, these might be required as well. We got a silica gel packet in here just to keep everything nice and fresh. And then on the right side here, we have lots of different cards. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice that all of these are color-coded, and we'll see that in a second. But this container is actually just a simple cardboard row, and this is actually from a legendary deck building game expansion. So I like to repurpose those, so you can definitely find something very similar, or alternatively, you can definitely just use plastic bags for this. This is a simple chunk. You can also use something like a BCW box, and you have lots of options here. The important thing here, let's take a look inside the actual cards. So you do want to organize them by specific types. So we've got all of our specialists here. I do like using just the clear sleeves. You can see the artwork on the back, but I do like to change it up as well. So for the plot twists, I have these fun orange sleeves. Your PR cards, clear sleeves. I've got these for the executives. And once again, you can definitely just have the backs all clear because the backs are different. In case you're playing with a 5th player, that's what this one's for, extra market row. We've got your module selectors to decide what you're going to play with. And then you've got all of the blueprint cards. And then all of the AI for the solo. And lastly, you have all of the different objectives that you're going to separate into long game, medium game, and short game. The last thing that we'll take a look at are all the boards under here. So first off, we've got our phase boards, and then we have your individual player boards. This is going to include your labs, which are nice and recessed, as well as the parks themselves. So they have those for each player. In here, you're also going to find the rule books for the main game and the Totally Liquid expansion, as well as the turn order, victory points, and excitement board. And if we keep on going, the last thing that's going to be included is the printout for the solo campaign. So Totally Liquid comes with a different solo mode that you can also create a campaign with. So you have lots of options with how to play your game here. Very, very cool. And that is everything. Now, before we put this away, you might have noticed that there's a lot of stuff in here. And that's because I actually used the box trick. So the box trick is when you combine two of your boxes. And in this case, we're using the Totally Liquid box bottom, or the box top, and supporting the bottom of the base game. So the way you do this is you actually just take the lid and you take some of the components here, so some of the trays, and you'll put them in here to support the bottom. It's actually going to allow you to lift up the box here, and that way the box gets a bit of a lip. So that way when you put the top on, you're actually going to have more storage. So instead of just having that base width or separating into two different boxes, I like to keep all my stuff in one box. So I think this is a great solution, and your box lid is going to add a couple extra inches on the top here, and you'll be able to keep more things in. So that being said, let's go ahead and put it back up. So first off, we're going to put the solo modes, the rule books, all the large boards. We'll put that card holder. We'll put all of our cards. Including the specialists. Our silica gel packet. Oh, forgot a couple more cards. All of our components for our players, as well as plot twists and executive, and those will all go nicely into here. And once again, do not feel bad if they're kind of sticking out, because you do have that extra room on the top. So it will be not super difficult to close it. Next, we'll put that organizer here with all the dice and the paddocks. We'll put our metal coins. We'll put that nice row of buildings and technology tiles. In this space, we'll put all of the Dino minis. We've got our DNA recipes, our executive tiles and islands, and then our bag of visitors. And that is organizing Dinosaur Island Extreme Edition. If you have any questions about what you saw here, please let me know down in the comments below. How do you organize your version of this game? What do you think of Dinosaur Island? I'd love to hear all of your opinions. I'd also really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and allows us to do even more cool things. Thank you so much for watching. I hope some of you found this useful. Side Game strong.